What's up, guys? Welcome to Game on TV. I am your host, Alkinyo, aka Lusenyenge. And in my studio today, I have my guest in the blue corner.
I'm Arthur Israel.
And in the red corner,
Kale Meroni, aka the Kenyan Copite.
The Kenyan Copite. Today
Exactly.
we are going to discuss about the fantasy football managers. And we are in the game week 35, and we therefore welcome you viewers to join us and find out the best of our squads that are going to finish among the top managers in the Fantasy Premier League. I therefore want to welcome the Blue Kenyan to say something about the players who have been out for a long time and they are now back to their fitness, whether they will be finding their footing in the next fixture. And I would like him to comment about Jamie Vardy, who came back and he was on the pitch yesterday.
Jamie Vardy, for me, for any manager, Jamie Vardy is one of the people you should always have in your squad, because when you look at Leicester, the play is centered around him, and he takes penalties, he's very fast. So I think Vardy coming back, and it also coincides with the poor form Leicester had. It's because of Vardy was out. So when he comes back, that is a guarantee goals you are getting from him. And the fact that he played yesterday, it means that he's gaining much fitness, so we expect him to start. So having Vardy in your team could prove the point, could prove the difference for you this weekend.
So are you trying to say that if somebody has Jamie Vardy, they have Patson Daka or the other guy who's called Kelechi Iheanacho, should ship them out and instead replace them with Jamie Vardy? Or
yes,
Absolutely.
I'll say that confidently, because Jamie Vardy is the starter. They've been playing because he was not there, but right now he's back.
what if they have been doing a good job? Are we going to ship them out just because Jamie Vardy has come back, or what are we going to really to consider?
Okay,
Even they are scoring, especially Kelechi Iheanacho.
They've been trying, that one I'll give them. They've been trying to play without Vardy, but you see the amount of goals Vardy brings to the Leicester squad. Vardy is a player who every season guarantees you about between 15 to 20 goals.
His goal scoring ability is the top notch. That is what you are trying to say.
Yes, and he's
What do you
also
have to say
Leicester's.
about what do you have to say about Reece James when it comes to defending and being an attacking defender? He's a defender who is attacking. You understand? What do you have to say about him being included in somebody's squad?
I think Reece James has developed just from an optional defender to a must-have defender. If you watch yesterday's match, Reece James was the man of the match according to me. Yes. He makes very good runs along the wing,
and the crosses,
and then he's also a good goal scorer. So Reece James a must-have. If you don't have Reece James, please bring him in. Must-have.
Thank you very much. Now we want to consider another different player who has been on the bench in a couple of games that have passed. That is Lacazette. Do you think Alexandre Lacazette is going to get a notch in the game week 35? And should he be considered by the FPL managers?
If you asked me this question 3 game weeks ago, I'd say yes. But right now, I'm not very sure, because when he was sick, when he was out, Nketiah came in and he stepped up in the Chelsea game. And because of that, he earned a start in the subsequent game. And even Arteta came out and confirmed that indeed, if there's someone who has really suffered, who deserves to play more, is Nketiah. So I think Lacazette and Nketiah, it will be very, very, very tough to determine. So I think here, as managers, you should follow your instinct. But if it were me, I think I'll go with Nketiah.
You will go with Eddie Nketiah.
Yes.
What about Rudiger in defense? Do you think he's a player managers should consider, given his scoring ability in aerial duels and long-range shots?
Well, I think he's a good option, a cheap option for Reece James, considering he's a good player on set pieces, as you have said. And you have seen the recent past trying the long-range shots, scoring a very brilliant goal against Brentford. So Rudiger is a good option for someone who has funds constraints, especially someone who can't get Reece James because of shortage of funds. So I'll go for Rudiger if I really don't have the funds for Reece James. Rudiger is a good option for someone who wants
for a manager who is short of options in defense.
Yeah.
That is very well noted. But we have forgotten a goalkeeping region, which, according to you, is the meanest defense in the Premier League this season?
This season,
The meanest defense. Meanest means the one that has conceded fewer goals.
Yeah.
I'll go with Liverpool and Man City.
Liverpool and Man City. So your goalkeeper will come from any of the two teams.
But they're too expensive, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
Are you not going to sacrifice?
So instead of going for the meanest defense, I'll go for a goalkeeper with more saves. Someone who can give me
Or another option, you can just go with the people who have been on form, who have not been conceding. And a good example is Newcastle. From the beginning of the year up to now, Newcastle, I think, is one of the teams that has conceded very few goals. And most of their matches, they win 2-0, 1-0. And Dubravka is a cheap option, I think, is around 4.5.
Would you not be risking taking Newcastle goalkeeper when it is facing a very fierce title-chasing team like in Liverpool with Mane, Salah, Jota, and the new guy, Diaz?
Good question.
Yeah, I know Liverpool is on form and everything, which I don't dispute. But, you also have to consider that Newcastle have been good. They have been good. So, it means the chances of him making saves, which has been happening over the past few games, they will not diminish just because it's Liverpool. He's still a good goalkeeper. And cheap.
Would you not consider another cheaper option in Sanchez, the Brighton goalkeeper, given that they have also been somehow good in defense and their goalkeeper has been making a lot of saves?
Yeah, I think that's...
Given that it is also facing a relatively equal match in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, Sanchez, I think, is a prudent pick. It's a good pick.
I would
And also, Wolves, they're known for not scoring so much goals. Yeah. So I think Sanchez is a good pick.
Sanchez is a good pick in the goalkeeping region.
Yeah, sure.
So there you are, guys. In the goalkeeping region, you can pick Sanchez because we know he's cheaper and they are facing a relatively weaker opposition team. But in defense, as the Reds fan has said, you can pick Rudiger or Reece James for your benefit, given that now they are an angry lion, and an angry lion is a hungry lion is an angry man. So this Chelsea team is a wounded lion, and once it is wounded, it's going to pounce back and it's going to devour these Everton people, and therefore they are going to get a lot of goals, if not many. So we are going to look at the players who you should ship out from a squad, the FPL managers, and we're having a few of the players who have gotten injured in the previous games, like Tino Livramento, Saka, but I don't know the chances of their play. Maybe you can comment about Tino Livramento.
I think Livramento has been a good player for most Premier League, for most fantasy managers, because of how cheap he was and the points he was bringing in. But for now, Livramento, he was injured. I think he's out up to January next year, I think. So for him, it's unfortunate, but for him, is a must. You must ship him out.
What do you think about Saka?
For Bukayo Saka, I'll wait until the press conference of the coach later on the day, because Bukayo Saka is a player on the top of the best form of his career right now. So it's a player you will not just be selling out because maybe he was limping out of the field or something. So I'll wait for the press conference of the coach today before I make any moves on.
So you are suggesting that the managers
hold down
horses
until
the press conferences have been held by the managers.
Yeah.
Before we move forward. Then now I think we will move to our last piece of discussion, so to check on who will be your preferred pick for the captain this game week 35.
Yeah.
Who will be your preference?
Given
that we have Mason Mount, who is going to face Everton, and we know Chelsea is a wounded lion and they would want to prove that they are actually lions.
Yes.
And we also have Kevin De Bruyne, who is chasing the league with Manchester City. We also have Cristiano Ronaldo, who is facing a weaker team, and he has been scoring in the past couple of games. He has been on top of the scoring in Manchester camp. We also have Mo Salah, who is undisputed goal scorer and proven. We also have Bukayo Saka, whose chances are also hanging in the balance pending the confirmation. And then we also have Sadio Mane, who has been centralized in the attack. And finally, we have Felipe Coutinho, who is also facing a relatively weaker team this game week. Who will be your pick? If I may begin with you, the Blue Kenyan.
My first option from the names you've just given me will be Mount. Considering how Everton have been poor this season and they have been shipping in goals, and I think when you give Chelsea a chance to score, you saw that with Southampton, they will score. And you know, Chelsea attacks, they always the transition, you know, from the midfield to the attack, that is always Mount's work. He gets in with the assists and goals.
And he's always in the right position at the right time. Thank you very much. And you, what will be your preferred pick from the list that I just mentioned?
Well, this game we can go with a differential Man City player like Jesus, or a differential Aston Villa player like Coutinho.
Do you think if you go with the Jesus, you will not be risking, given the rotation that Pep Guardiola has always put in? You will find that today Jesus is playing, and next minute another player like Bernardo Silva is taking his space.
I think there's a journalist who popped that question for Pep Guardiola, and I think Pep Guardiola said that Jesus has earned that position for Man City, given the recent form he has been playing, he has been scoring goals and so on. So I think they now have a striker in Jesus, and he'll be getting minutes.
Do you think that he will be rested for this weekend to prepare him for the second leg of the UEFA Champions League?
Well, I can just say fingers crossed.
Thank you very much, our viewers. We have come to the end of the analysis, and we therefore urge you to make a good pick from the list of the players we've given you. Until next time, cheers. Meet you again.